Lord help this recording. Hi, my name is Ben, aka Heflmyer, and today I'm here to talk about what exactly role-playing games, tabletop RPGs. Now, stop where you're going. I know. I know. This is not anybody's favorite topic. People are always like, ugh, tabletop RPGs. You want to hear about, I know, it's like the classic nerd trope. But you know what? I can't hide from it. It's what I've been my whole life. I'm a nerd, okay? I like tabletop RPGs. I enjoy playing them with friends. I've been doing it for a long time, so I'm gonna tell you a bit about them, but I'm not gonna explain exactly the rules because this isn't the setting for it. Do you like Skyrim? Do you like Dark Souls? Zelda? And Lord of the Rings? Are you a fan of Stranger Things? I ask about Skyrim specifically because it's probably one of the closest video games that equates to what a role-playing game is like. In a role-playing game, you and all of your friends that you're playing with are trying to make a story, but more than that, you're setting out on some sort of adventure. Typically, like Skyrim. What kinds of stories are we telling? Generally, it's ones that have some sort of action adventure in it. It could be a heist. It could be a quest to go save the queen. It could be some sort of mystical aspect where you're performing something for a god or a deity. It could be set in a futuristic city where you're trying to usurp a government and replace it with a benevolent democratic system. You could be kids trying to figure out why all the dogs in your neighborhood keep going missing. What's happening to them? I, once again, draw the comparison to Skyrim. Skyrim, you can do basically whatever you want, but there are rules that apply. There are specific moves that you have to use. There's specific ways that you have to interact with things. You have stats that tell you what you're good at doing and what you're not good at doing, and all of these things combine to give you the experience. So there are different sets of rules that people use for role-playing. The most popular of which that you've probably heard is Dungeons and Dragons, or D&D. If you're a fan of Stranger Things, then you'll see lots of D&D references. This set of rules is one of the oldest standing that is used for role-playing. It comes from what's called war games, which is when, noblemen and high military figures would actually, play with soldiers on a battlefield like a real-time strategy game, and there'd be rules for how you engage in combat. A lot of those combat rules formed into what the first versions of Dungeons and Dragons were. They just added rules for magic and some rules for talking, but not a lot. And as people have become more interested in role-playing games, these rules have evolved and they've made new systems. There's systems like Pathfinder, which is kind of similar to D&D with some differences. Starfinder, which is the same thing as Pathfinder, but in the stars. Call of Cthulhu, there's Vampire Masquerade, there's Kids on Bikes, there's a whole slew of other ones. I am a particular fan of Star Wars, so I gravitated towards the Star Wars role-playing system when I first got into it. How do you actually play a role-playing game? You use dice. Typically in a game like Dungeons and Dragons, you would use a variety of dice with different sizes that give you different probabilities on what you're going to do. So people will use dice. They'll use tokens sometimes, or coins. They'll use maps. They'll use miniatures or little small models to represent their people. And then they use these play mats so that you can understand where you would be in combat or understand where you are in a space. In Star Wars, you don't use numbered dice at all, you use symbol dice, and the symbols cancel each other out and leave you with good effects and bad effects and worse effects and better effects, and it's more interpretive than it is a flat, you have to make this number on your dice roll to do this. Why am I here telling you all of this today? Well, because I'm a huge fan of role-playing. I have been a game master or dungeon master, the person who leads all the players and sets up the world that they play in, and then also enforces the rules of the table and kind of makes sure that everybody is following what the table agrees to as rules. I have generally performed this role, and I really enjoy it. Building worlds, and creating environments, and improvising characters. That's just something I'm a big fan of. Because of that, I have been interested in developing my own role-playing setting where we could go back and play multiple different kinds of games. Adventure stories, love stories, stories of espionage, scientific intrigue, all of this is something that I like. And I enjoy Star Wars, but I've played it for quite a few years now, and I'm honestly a little tired of the Star Wars universe, even though I still do love Star Wars. Here I have some visual references for you for what I have been concocting. Something that is noir, futuristic, but also retro in its feeling. Something that is derived from the vibes of neon city lights, futuristic, like retro punk, and then also crime dramas of the 70s and 80s. And combining all of these aesthetics into an alternate future of Earth that you could roleplay. I've been very excited about this idea. I've kind of spitballed it with some friends and I'm working on it right now, but I'm telling you because as I continue working on it, I would love to share updates with you. Or if in the future I come up with some other idea of a role-playing game and I want to share it with people, I want to get you excited, I want to get you into it, then I'll let you know. At some point in the future, me and my friends that do the role-playing, we're kind of hoping to record some of our games, some of our experiences, and I'd love to get to share that with you. So I figured I'd make a little bit of an introduction. The name of the setting that I'm developing is called Hardware, Work in Progress, the name as well. I'm going to use the rules of the Star Wars system. Those rules are actually derived from what's called the Genesis system, which is designed to be put in any setting. It's not stuck in fantasy, it's not stuck in Star Wars, it can be anywhere. So I'm going to try and adapt some of that and use it for this setting. So that's all I got to say about RPGs today. I appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to like the video. You can subscribe if you like. We're almost actually at 100 subscribers, which is surreal. It's been just over 2 years since I posted my first video, and very humbling to have almost 100 subscribers now, so I appreciate it. You tune in to listen to me talk about bullshit or, some weird shaky cam vlog. So I'm gonna try and up my production as we keep going on, but I appreciate you tuning in for now. Hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, and night. This has been. Bye!